Welcome to Whiskey and Whiskers midweek episode. We're going to do Gator licks this week. This is your host, Chop.
Gator.
Chris.
Blake. So, what album are we reviewing this week?
I kind of went down the deep end and picked out what I would consider a classic. It's got a lot of good tunes on it. Let's pull it up real quick. Y'all know ACDC?
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So let's look at ACDC a bit today. This is a great way to look at ACDC. But before we go too deep into the album, let's step back a little bit and kind of look at ACDC as a whole, right? So ACDC is a pretty big band. They've had two singers. And a cool way to think about it is like maybe almost in a biblical sense. There's like an Old Testament and a New Testament.
So, ACDC changed from their older albums to the newer ones?
Absolutely. Yeah,
in between singers?
They absolutely changed in between singers. But the guitar stuff, it's rock solid all the way through. You know, the musical part.
Angus Young?
Yeah, for sure. Malcolm, dude. Malcolm's like the backbone of that shit.
So, the album that we're going to be listening to today is it the Old Testament or New Testament in this analogy?
This is like the New Testament of
Okay.
AC/DC. And this is an abrupt New Testament. But I even want to look further into the New Testament, so to speak, prophetically. And I think he was talking about this album when he was saying, "Stand up and be counted for what you are about to receive."
Who-
So I'll
who
let
said
that,
that?
I'll let that sink in.
Who said that?
That's some further down AC/DC.
Okay. Stand up and be counted for what you're about to receive.
Yeah. For those about to rock, we
salute
salute you.
Yep.
That's like some Gladiator shit. Like,
Fuck,
remember in
dude.
Gladiator and Spartacus when they're like, "For those who are about to die." You know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
dude. Yeah, no, this is like, when you listen to this kind of music, you can't help but just be like fucking pumped up rage mode. You know
Hell
what I
yeah.
mean?
So what album do we have today?
So, Back in Black.
Ooh.
Back in
Nice.
Black.
I've heard of this album.
Oh, man. Everybody's heard of this album. But I don't think
That's the black one, right?
Yeah. I don't know if it's really hit home, though, for a lot of people. You know? So this album, what's cool is, I can't say cool, but a good thing that's come out of this album is this is the first album they released after Bon Scott passed away. So Bon Scott was their first singer. That's who the band was started with. And, of course, as any rock star or any badass would do, in their mid-30s, go on a drinking binge and fucking die, you know?
Hell yeah.
So,
Happens to the best of us.
consequently, 6 months later, they got with Brian Johnson, someone they had seen previously performing, and they thought he was badass. Even Bond had commented on his performance. And they asked him to come do some shit with them, and it worked out. 6 months later, they recorded this album. It's fucking crazy, man.
What year was this album released? Do we know?
1980?
Here, we can do some research.
Yeah. In the meantime, though, it was recorded in the Bahamas.
That's cool.
Now, isn't that fucking cool?
Yeah.
This is cool.
That's cool as shit. Also on this album,
You were right, by the way. 1980.
cool. Angus, he tried out some new guitar technology, from what I understand. I guess between his guitar and the input to the amplifier, he ran it wirelessly, and that's now a sound that's been like built into a sound box as like an effect.
Oh,
you know
he
what
had
I
his
mean?
own sound, huh?
Yeah. It's very unique, you know, and it's hard to.
I want to talk. So I can't speak for the sound so much. I don't have the ear for it like you do.
Right.
But I know that Angus Young's guitar, that Gibson that's got like the devil horns.
Yeah, the SG.
So it looks fucking dope.
Oh fuck, dude! It's totally everything encompassed in that band, you know, in that guitar, man.
Yeah. You have to have that guitar and you have to have Angus Young in order to have ACDC. Like,
Yeah.
it's so important.
Oh man.
Quintessential.
Yes, absolutely. I like that. It is. I mean, he is like the energy of that band. You know what I mean?
And you know, we can't talk about ACDC without talking about the Duck Walk, right?
Fuck, dude.
It's almost as iconic as like the windmill that Pete Townsend does,
Yes.
or like you that Duck Walk that he does.
The
is
double
fucking
step
gnarly.
too, you know, when he does like the.
And he'll fucking lay down on the ground and like run in circles and
Dude.
shit, and he keeps playing.
It's hard enough to play guitar, man.
And he's a short little dude, but he's just going hard,
man.
like as hard as you can go.
fucking nuts, dude.
All right, let's talk about Back in Black.
All right, man. So it opens up with Hell's Bells.
All right, how does that
know
that one go? Can
You know
play
that
it?
one?
So it's got a slow roll, like it starts.
Yeah.
That slow roll.
And the bell in the
But
beginning.
And it picks up and picks up.
Oh,
it reminds
man.
me of
Wait for it.
Yeah, what's it remind you of, man? Metallica?
Ozzy Osbourne
Okay.
with the bells. I don't know why.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah.
Ozzy doesn't have bells.
Uh,
Ozzy's got bells.
You might be thinking of like Black Sabbath. And
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay. But yeah, it's Ozzy for sure. What's interesting about the bell too in that song is, if you notice when you listen to the track, I can't reproduce the bell, but
Right.
it's in tune with the chord.
Right. Yeah.
It's an A minor that matches that pitch, and I guess it was kind of a challenge for the band to find the right bell that would match the track.
Oh, that's
But,
cool.
Yeah, they did. I can't remember where it was, like a steel mill or something, and somewhere they found it, and it was perfect.
Wow,
They're
that's-
like, we need that bell.
Fuck yeah.
Specifically that bell.
I guess they had recorded it with another bell, and it just didn't sound quite right, and they're like, "No, we're not doing it."
Good on
Oi!
them.
Yeah,
Very cool.
yeah. So yeah, I want to say like "Shoot to Thrill" is one of the most powerful ACDC songs to me. It's fucking cool, and because it's got multiple cool parts. So let me try and play through some of that stuff, and I'll tell you what I mean.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah. So it opens up. So that's pretty cool, right? That powerful intro. And then. Right? So that's like the intro to the song. It's fucking badass. What I really like about that song is so beyond the chorus, but in the middle, AC/DC has these like concepts of these like epic kind of jams, you know. So let me try and play through that a little bit.
Just the bridge, or
So after the chorus, I'll play through the chorus. You know that groove? He goes right back in the chorus. It's fucking badass. You know what I mean?
they've got a rhythm that
Yes.
seems to permeate through a lot of their songs, especially at least this album. When I listened to it, I was like, there's a lot of rhythm going on here. For everyone always imagines Angus Young, and they're like, dude, lead guitar player,
Yeah.
And realistically, like their cadence is on point. It's fucking cool.
It's so hard to reproduce like that energy and that sound without that rhythm. The drums are huge. That's what builds so much of that energy up. Like, it's insane. You know what I mean? Especially in Shoot to Thrill.
I know Shoot to Thrill for me, like that's the jam, dude. Like I mean, there's the whole album is filled with jams, but Shoot to Thrill is like, I don't know, like if I was kicking off a road trip, I could play almost anything off this song and just be like, hell yeah, I'm ready to fucking roll.
Yeah,
but
dude.
For some reason, Shoot to Thrill is just like an anthem to me. I don't know.
man.
It's too perfect.
Yeah, and that's talking like lyrically even now, but just the totality of the song is just like.
I think. See, I'm on a different boat, man. I think my favorite song in this whole album is "You Shook Me All Night Long." I feel like I've heard it so many times, and it gets everybody hyped, and it's just fun,
Yeah.
Can you play that one?
Yeah. Let me see here.
Oh yeah.
They do that intro too. It seems like they start playing and they get you hooked. Like they tickle your balls a little bit, and then boom, they fucking start rocking.
Yeah, dude. It's like such simple chords too. That's what's so cool about them is It's just
it's like it's complex, but it's simple at the same time. You know?
yeah, such simple rhythms and strumming patterns, but it's just like it's dude. It's like nature. It's just so perfect and natural. It just like hits, dude.
It makes me draw an analogy to like perfect, like the best sushi that you can have is just fucking fish and rice, you know?
Yeah.
But something about like how simple and how perfect it is where like people gravitate
the
towards
value
it, you
and
know?
the beauty.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure, dude.
And correct me if I'm wrong. I talked a little bit while you were playing, but
You're good,
It
dude.
seems like they have a knack for they start to play and it's usually slow or it's usually like let's get people's ears, let's pique their interest, and then they drop it and they start rocking, you know?
And they hit hard, dude. Mm-hmm. And it just carries you. You have no choice when you listen to ACDC to just fucking get into it. You know
Oh
what I
yeah.
mean? Like this is, to me, timeless music. You could play like this is football game music. You know what I mean?
And I think I don't know for sure. I can't speak for everybody sitting around this table, but Gator Licks, what it's done for me at least is I feel like we're introducing a younger audience to a type of music that they can appreciate. Like this is not new. This has been around for a minute, but it's timeless. It's classic, and it's
Yeah.
still fucking great.
Yeah, dude.
You know.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Maybe we can get an entire new generation to start like appreciating guitar again instead of
Yeah.
fucking keyboards and synthesizers and shit.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that shit's not cool. It is.
Yeah.
But so is this guitar that they used to do, and this is a perfect album to showcase that.
No, for sure. And I mean, we're deep into it, but there's still some more stuff to talk about even.
Oh yeah.
I guess we can go right for it. You know, the title track, Back in Black.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's not.
Like that's cool shit, man.
That's dope shit.
Like, so yeah, you know, Back in Black.
Yeah,
And he
their
hits it, dude.
frontman makes it too.
Yeah.
Like he really sells that song in particular.
And like the way they carry it, like the. You know. And then this part, dude. And this part. You know, it's so
So easy, right? So
oh
easy.
God, man. No, that stuff's rough, dude. No, dude, but that song, it's got, again, pulls in those like shoot to thrill elements where it's got like dynamics to the rhythm. You know what I mean? Like those little breakdowns and stuff. It's cool, dude. It's so creative. It's, you know, looking back to a past Gator Licks episode with Sammy Hagar, those
Right.
songs didn't have that same complexity and depth. You know, these are definitely.
Something else,
Yeah.
like the next step above.
Yeah, and checking out even I like this one, and I think it's very appropriate for Whiskey and Whiskers.
I know the song.
Have a drink on me. Yeah, dude. Oh man, get stoned.
This song makes me want to have a drink. You know,
yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
you know when you watch an old movie or like fucking Humphrey Bogart smoking a cigarette, you're like, I want a cigarette or
Oh, yeah,
something
yeah.
like. This song makes me want to drink. Like,
Dude, it's got tasty licks. You know, it's just it's all over the place,
grabs
man.
you right by the fucking balls.
Oh, dude.
It's
That's
so good.
AC/DC for you.
Really, the whole album, like it just makes you want to do shit. Like, I don't know, go out and
Yeah, you put it on in the shop and like you start like hitting a hammer against something
Yeah.
or moving rocks. I don't know, or lifting weight. You could do at the gym. You could jam this at the gym.
If you need a little kick in the ass to
Get motivated.
help you
Yeah.
check out rule number 1 and rule number 2, I
Yeah.
think it's time to check out Back in Black.
So be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and you can listen to us. We have new episodes every Monday. We're on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and Podbean. So again, remember, rule number 1, don't be a pussy, and rule number 2, shut the fuck up.